Our next speaker is, you've already heard from her this evening, Pavithri Kilgore. She is the owner of KPSK Consulting, and she loves telling people she'll help keep the government out of your business. Spencer, her husband, describes her as a Supreme Court junkie, which I don't know how you have time for that. I can't read the terms and conditions on the internet, let alone what comes out of a court. Okay, that one fell flat. But very early on into us meeting, Pavithri and I sat down and realized that we're both extremely passionate about helping our clients. And just to hear her experience and the life that she has and the business that she's built, I'm like, okay, I have to figure out how to get her involved in INSPIREsmall.biz. And luckily she agreed. And despite my constant mistakes, she still shows up anyway. Although sometimes it's to make fun of me, which I probably have coming. So everyone give a big hand to Pavithri Kilgore.
I just want to go on the record and say I show up because he's got the most adorable 2-year-old, and which basically means I hang out with him, I get access to Riley. So it's not a hard sell. So Ryan, you told me heritage, so we're talking about heritage today. So, heritage is a concept that binds us to our past, shape our present, and guide our future. Heritage is a tapestry of our identity, woven all together with culture, tradition, and history. It's a treasure trove of stories, values, and memories that define who we are and where we come from. Most of you that know me know that I tend to be somewhat guarded and private when it comes to my personal life. But the truth is, to know me and to understand who I am at the core of it is to know a little bit of my story. I was born and raised in Sri Lanka during a civil war and political upheaval. Growing up, there was never any intention of migrating and settling down in any other country. Unfortunately, fate has other plans, and political unrest and circumstances, we ended up migrating to the US. As an immigrant, my journey with heritage has been complicated. I have lived in the US longer than I did in Sri Lanka. Now looking back, I wouldn't trade my time in either place. My heritage is not a relic of the past, but a living part of my identity that I carry every day. My heritage is not something that I understood as a kid, to be honest. Embracing heritage as an immigrant also meant navigating the delicate balance between preserving my own culture, identity, and integrating it into a new society. It's about finding the harmony between the old and the new, and creating a unique blend that reflects the diversity of experience. As a native, heritage is often seen as a familiar and comforting presence. It's the foundation upon which our lives are built, providing a sense of stability and continuity. I took things for granted as a Sri Lankan. Living in Sri Lanka, I wish I still had that day-to-day in my life. As a native, our heritage is deeply intertwined with the land, the language, and the traditions that were passed down through generations. It's a source of pride and identity that connects us to our ancestors and to the collective memory of our community. The importance of who I am, where I came from, and what I stand for, my heritage, was never more important than when I decided to start my business. From the colors of my logo to the name, it represents everything of who I am. So for those who don't know, that is my logo. And a lot of people think that my name in the business is a combination of me and Spencer. But the truth is, it is my legal name in Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, we track our lineage through our family name and not by the last name. So, it is passed down through our father's side, and it is used to trace our ancestors through the generations. So, that is my full name in Sri Lanka, and hence the KPSK. Now, where do the colors come from? That is the flag of Sri Lanka. That's where the colors for my company came from. The lion with the sword symbolizes the nation's bravery. Crimson represents the majority Sinhalese population and the rich history. Orange or saffron represents the Tamil minority. Green represents the Muslim minority. Yellow border represents the other minority ethnic groups, Catholic, Hindu, Malay, etc. We have a wide variety. And then the 4 bow leaves on the 4 corners of the flag symbolizes Buddhism and the 4 virtues of loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity, mental calmness and composure in difficult situations, which to me, with what I do for a living, kind of made sense. So, what I want to leave you with is this. Regardless of if you are an immigrant or not, our heritage is uniquely us. How I viewed my heritage living in Sri Lanka as a native versus how I look at my heritage now are incredibly different. We as immigrants hang on to our traditions from back home are not being disrespectful to our new home. We're simply trying to hold on to a small part of who we are and how we were raised. I can only speak for myself when I say I have a greater appreciation of Sri Lanka, the culture I grew up with, the lessons I was taught because I'm an immigrant. And I look at this topic and I say, how do you view heritage as a native versus an immigrant? And I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't know that I would have appreciated Sri Lanka and what it had to teach me if I was still living there. We take for granted what we have and who we are, and we don't necessarily see the good till we no longer have it. Living in the middle of a civil war, political upheaval, I will look back and say that my childhood was as near perfect as it could have been. And that says a lot about my parents and my grandparents and everybody that was surrounded me. So please, don't lose who you are, regardless of where you were born, where you came from. If you were born here or not, let's celebrate the uniqueness in each of us, and let's not use it to divide us. Because at the end of the day, we are stronger together. That's me and my heritage.